Hello, hello. Good afternoon, continuous liners. Good afternoon. I just got my beautiful latte delivered to me. Isn't that lovely? Look at that cute little heart. In fact, I should have taken a photo of it. Oh, well. Hi, how's everyone doing? It is Sunday afternoon, and we are on day 17. Is that right? Yeah, day 17 of this ridiculous coffee sketch. Isn't that delicious? Yeah, I'm coming to you live from the streets of Guanajuato. I'm up here in a little, this is actually a gelato shop, but they have a delicious latte, and they have all these like Roman style drinks, like what I never heard of before. It's an espresso with lemon. Am I that uncultured that I didn't know that was a thing, to put limon in espresso? I mean, go figure. That sounds awful to me. Awful. Give me a little leche. I don't put sugar in my coffee anymore. And you know what? You know how everyone says when you quit sugar? I didn't quit sugar. I just quit putting sugar in my coffee. They say, oh, your whole life's going to change. I promise you it didn't change. I was a little sad because I didn't have sugar in my coffee. But other than that, it's been absolutely the same. Yeah, super excited, man. This is like we're more than halfway through the Coffee Sketch 2023, and this is honestly what separates the artist from the, well, I don't want to be rude, because you know sometimes the drawing challenges are hard and people do give up. It's very common. People give up on drawing challenges because they're hard. As I said the other day, they're not hard like going to war hard, being homeless hard, being an addict hard. It is just, it pushes your creativity, right? And so, you know, people do fall out, but those who persist, it really bends your creativity. And it, you know, is it life-changing? I think so. I've done a few of these drawing challenges, self-imposed. Most of them self-imposed. I've never really been great at, like, you know, the Inktober, mostly because I think their prompts are super weird. And but so like in this Coffee Sketch 2023, the first time I did it, I was drawing coffee cups all over Mexico City because they have a fascinating cafe culture there, right? Guanajuato. You know, it's a little bit more mysterious here. There's no information like here's the place, here's what you want to see and do. I mean, it's a mysterious little town, right? It's got lots of like, it's dark in the sense that it's very vertical, right? It's all these like little alleyways. Can you see that here? I'm dangling up over a little tiny alley, right? So I think the landscape of this city, you know, just like with anything else, our landscape defines our personality, helps define it, right? And whereas Mexico City, it's a vast mega metropolis, right? And it's being flooded by, you know, a lot of people are moving there. So it's a hot dining scene, a hot cafe scene. Guanajuato is a little bit more closed, right? And dark and mysterious. So that, you know, it's not impossible, but it's just been a little bit trickier to find my way to get. I don't have my footing yet, but anyways, I'm getting my footing, and we'll see. But so last year, where I was drawing coffee cups all over Mexico City because there was a cafe every 10 feet, right? Here, what I've decided to do is do a selfie coffee sketch, right? Just because it's like, it's hard to do a continuous line selfie, right? So I'm just pushing myself. I'm pushing myself to try something new here. And I'm seeing so many interesting coffee sketches. It's just blowing me away. The mediums that people are using. I'm going to do a little continuous line warm-up. Here's my warm-ups from my drink and draw Guanajuato. Look, they're wine cups. Can you see that? And they look like they have like lip kisses on them. Yeah, continuous line wine cups, right? No one says you have to do coffee. But coffee cups are a good challenge. But really, any drinking vessel will work. Let me just move this down a little bit. For those of you who are going to be doing I invite you to use this time, if you're listening to me, if you're checking in with me, get in the habit. I do this so everyone can get in the habit of doing the drawing warm-ups, right? Because everyone I know forgets to do them, myself included. Well, at this point, I don't forget how to do it. I'm going to see if I can close this door. I don't want people looking at me. Thank you. There we go. Good. There's like people sitting right there. I could feel their eyes on me. So I do this so that I remind myself to do them, and then I see how they show up in my designs and in your drawings too, right? So it's one of these things, like it takes a little time to get into the habit of doing it, but once you get in the habit of doing it, it's a life changer. I'm telling you, it is a life changer. Super simple. Almost everyone I know, like I had this drink and draw the other night, and there were a few people there, and I have them do line warm-ups, and automatically what everyone does is they start to draw things, or they start to design the page, right? Like, I get it. It's sort of this sense of like, well, if I'm going to be drawing, if I'm going to have pen to the page, I'm going to be drawing, right? Why waste this time and not draw? I get that impulse, but I really encourage the line warm-ups are literally to not draw anything. Don't draw anything. It's literally just to get the lead out, just to open it up and get your eye-hand coordination revved up. It strengthens the relationship between the eye-hand coordination, because it tells the ego to step aside, because the ego is like, oh, let me draw a pretty picture, and then once I start drawing the pretty picture, it better look good, or otherwise everyone's going to think I'm a fraud or a failure, and I'm not an artist, right? There's all these like emotional issues that come to play. Everyone. Some people may have worked through it and don't pay attention to it, but I would almost guarantee that everyone has some sort of emotional issue come through when they start drawing. And especially drawing, because it is something that's so like direct. It's so like, for example, in some of my other workshops, there's paper mache, and with paper mache, you have an object in between yourself and your hands, right? Between your brain and your hands, you're sculpting something. And I'm just using paper mache as an example because that's one of my workshops. Even printmaking, right? You've got to use equipment, and there's paper, and there's tools. There's all these things that you have to, in order to create that medium, there's tools you have to use. With drawing, it's super raw. It's like eye-hand coordination. And, I have noticed in my workshops, especially when I have the two other mediums, paper mache and printmaking, the sketching is the one that makes people the most nervous, because it's like raw, it's direct. It's like you can't blame, I don't want to use that word, you can't like put it on like, oh, the equipment didn't work right, or the glue dried, or whatever, right? Like I'm just giving examples. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad, right? It's just something I've seen over the years, is that drawing can make people nervous because there's nothing to hide behind. It's very raw, it's very direct, it's very organic, right? And it's why some people avoid it, because it's hard. There's that word again, right? Like it pushes us. It pushes our creativity. It pushes our thinking. Like which direction is my pen going to go now, right? And if I go that way, am I going to wreck things? Or if I go that way, is it going to be the best drawing in the world, and everyone's going to like it, and everyone's going to love me, and everyone's going to throw their money at me because I'm the greatest artist in the world, right? That's how it works, right? Yeah. Delicious. I don't usually drink coffee this late in the day, but what the heck. The drawing warm-ups are super importante to not draw anything. Have I said that enough? Have I then, maybe I don't post those enough. Maybe I should do that, just post because I usually just kind of toss them aside, and I have a box, and the box is building up with all my continuous line warm-ups. I could wallpaper the whole city of Guanajuato with these things, right? Oh, with all the shadows and sun, maybe you can't see it. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm in a spotty, sunny alley, and really, I chose this place because it's the most quiet. Everywhere in Mexico is loud. Everywhere is loud, right? So especially this is a university town. There's like rock and roll blasting everywhere, and there's food vendors, and they all have something blasting. And even this is unusual that the cafe is not blasting music, because usually in Mexico everyone is blasting music, right? So that's part of like when I'm doing my live streams, I need to find a place that's a little bit, so I can be safe. I don't have to worry about my phone being stolen. I don't have to worry about getting robbed. I mean, that could happen anywhere, right? But I have some guidelines when I'm out searching for my place to do live stream, all right? I gotta be safe, first and foremost. I do a lot of sketching out on the streets, and so I'm always looking like which way is my back to the deal and what's going on around me and what, the whole deal. I got to take it all in addition to drawing. Oh, which, by the way, I just did something super cool. I was just over there at the Don Quixote Museum, and I was speaking to a gallery owner here in Guanajuato, and he told me Don Quixote's out. And nobody wants Don Quixote. He's done. Don Quixote is done. And I was like... Well, he's been around for a long time, you sure? And he's like, yeah, kids don't know who he is. And I'm like, well, I can understand that. So I sat down in front of one of the Don Quixotes, and I grabbed a pencil and my Uniball, and look what I did. I drew him with two hands at the same time. Double-fisted, continuous line Don Quixote. I don't care that he's like passé and nobody wants Don Quixote anymore. He's a really good drawing subject because he's got super long limbs, and he's very interesting. He's an interesting character. So I did a little time-lapse video of like, because believe me, when you're doing these double-fisted, double-handed drawings, at least for me, because I'm not used to it yet, and I'm going to continue to practice, my brain's kind of jumping all over the place because it's going left brain, right brain, left brain, right brain. And then there's the difference between like, here's my right hand, here's my left hand. Does my left hand just follow my right hand? No. I tell it, like, go that way, right? So instead of following my right hand, I say, like, do the shoulders, do the arms, do the hands, come back in, do the waist, right? So I'm trying to, like, do it symmetrically, drawing, not having my weaker hand follow my right hand. I'm trying to tell them both to go do their own thing, and it's super interesting, right? And honestly, I feel like that's one of the benefits of a continuous line practice, because it gives you sovereignty. It gives you, like, it builds skill, right? It builds skill. So you develop this eye-hand coordination, this trust that you go, okay, I want a line right there. Oh, boom, right? I think all of us who are drawing now can remember a time when our drawings were completely frustrating, right? That's not to say that they can't be frustrating now, because they certainly can, right? Like this, for every great sketch you have, there's going to be 300 horrible. Maybe not 300, but you know what I mean, right? So, in the beginning, there's a whole thing of like, oh, I want to draw this this poinsettia plant that's right in front of me, right? And I start drawing the poinsettia plant, and all of a sudden I only have room for one leaf because I've drawn it so big, and I have no room for any other leaves or flowers or anything, or the sky behind it, and the fence behind it, and the wires, and the guy in the window over there. There's no guy in the window, but you know what I mean. Like, you start to build that trust of like, okay, hand, draw that leaf, boom, boom, draw the leaf, right? And it's in proportion. It's not perfect. This is not like perfect drawings, but it can be more in proportion so that you have the space and the composition to draw the thing that you want to draw. And I really, 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 I certainly didn't develop continuous line, but I have designed a curriculum around it, and I know others have too, right? Like, I'm not I'm not inventing the wheel here, but I am going very deep in it and building what I think is a solid curriculum around it of like, you do these basic things, you do these like simple elementary warm-ups, and you do some pattern making, and you practice, right? I mean, really, at the end of the day, you have to practice. You have to practice. If there's anything you want to be good at, you have to practice, right? You can buy the best tools in the world, the best pens, the best ink, the best watercolors, and there's people that do that, right? Or, you just have those things, and maybe you hang on to them for years before you actually start drawing. It takes what it takes. Drawing isn't a very emotional thing, right? So, but really, at the end of the day, it is practice. It's practice. You have to practice, right? And I feel like I'm at this place where I've been practicing, pretty much. My hair's flying all over the place. I think, it's hard to say for sure, but even without the pandemic and what has happened in the past few years, I think I still would have had a pretty strong drawing practice. But, like the rest of the world, I had a lot of extra time on my hands because I just, like everyone, stayed in my house for a couple of years, right? And, I did move to Mexico City, and so it was great to draw the city, but still, it was a lot of alone time, right? Which I used as my university training, as my self-designed university training to just draw, right? And with practice, anything is possible, right? With practice, anything is possible. Drawing coffee cups every day is a great teaching tool because, just for example, look at all the circles on this coffee. Look at all the circles there, right? Well, they're not circles, they're ovals, looking at it this way. You got the top of the coffee cup. You got the coffee itself, which is eclipsed now because it's on an angle. Here, wait, let me have a sip. You've got the bottom of the coffee cup. You've got the ring in the coffee saucer. And you got the saucer, and you got the lip of the saucer, right? So there's all these circles, oval shapes, right? The shape of the coffee cup. So how are you going to draw it? Even if you only spend 3 minutes drawing it, how are you going to draw this so that it shows that, that this part is closest to you, right? And this part is farther, well, actually this part is farther away. I'm getting all confused because I'm looking here. This part is closer to me, but it's farther away from you, right? And then this is right in the middle. So how do you show a sense of like volume, perspective, right? And then my hand, oh my God, I've been having fun trying to draw my hand because in this position, it's pretty contorted, right? Because look at my knuckles. It's just my fingers are, is that called foreshortened when they get tucked back like that? I don't even know. But, you can't see you can only see the first half of my fingers, my knuckles to here. And then this guy sticks out, right? So I've been trying to like not think about what does a hand look like. I'm just trying to draw the shape, right? Look at how weird looking that is, right? And then look at the size of the coffee cup to my head because the coffee cup is closer to you. And then, so my chin starts right here. And, okay, so you understand what I'm saying? It's very much, the continuous line is teaching, like, first of all, the coffee cup, right? Very simple, yet very complex, right? And then what other, perhaps, urban sketching you're adding to it. You don't have to. This is not an urban sketching thing, but a lot of you are telling stories around your coffee cups, like where you're at, or your dog that's with you, or your cat, or your grandchildren, or whatever it is, right? There's storytelling around it, right? And I love that. I love. I also think that, like, by seeing what the community is doing, it inspires others, right? Because I've had a few people say to me, "Oh, this is getting hard now. This is getting hard." And I'm like, I know, it's getting for me too, right? So you look to see what others are doing. Not that you're copying others, but you're like, okay, maybe I turn it upside down, right? Or I spill it, or or it's a French press, right? Like, it doesn't have to be a coffee cup by itself, right? Like, how can you tell the story of a coffee cup, right? So here we are, December 17th, so that means I think we have like 2 weeks, a little more than 2 weeks left, right? We have until New Year's Day. So New Year's Day, you can have like you can draw your coffee cup for the last time and then really go out with a bang because you did it, right? And it's a great feeling to complete a month-long drawing challenge. I've done a year-long drawing challenge. It's a great feeling, right? Because it's hard. It gets hard, then it gets easier, then it gets hard. I mean, it goes through the whole thing. And I find that, like, it's best to do it first thing in the morning because then it's not like looming over me all day. I still sometimes don't get to it until the end of the day just because like everyone else, I've got things to do. I can't just sit around and drink coffee cups all day. How about you? Alrighty, so here we go. I'm coming into the finish line here, finishing up my continuous lined warm-up where I am not drawing anything except now to that, nothing is set in stone. I like to finish big with a heart, right? Finish big with a heart. What am I going to do today? I'm going to go this way. Finish big with a heart. I'm actually going to make it look like a butterfly. As a reminder to myself to go easy on myself and go easy on others, right? Like these are treacherous times, do we dare say? Well, I am going to make a little butterfly out of this. Why not, right? There we go. These are complicated times, right? And it's easy to get very overwhelmed by what's happening. You glance at the news for a few minutes and then all of a sudden you're in like a whole rabbit hole of bad news, right? It's easy to do, and so go easy on yourself, right? If you're worried, I get worried, I get upset. I'm like, what do we, especially just learning, like seeing this whole political thing, what's happening, like with the United States marching into fascism, right? It's a little nerve-wracking, right? Like, my God, what is happening here, right? It's nerve-wracking, right? And then environmentally, like, oh yeah, there's no water. There's no water. Yeah, but go swimming, take that 20-minute shower, right? Like, it's hard to know what to do these days, right? So I finish big with a heart I should have this clipped down. As a reminder to myself, like, go easy on myself, go easy on others. Everyone is suffering right now in some way. Everyone is struggling with something, right? So go easy on yourself and go easy on others. There, it is 2 hearts, but I made a little butterfly out of it. There we go, everyone. Okay, we're day 17. Keep going, keep going. If you're finding it hard, if you're out of ideas, I get it. Just push through it because it'll, okay, I keep dropping this. It makes it feels good when you get through this drawing, any drawing challenge, right? And this is a fun one, right? Coffee cups, coffee cups. Look how fun that is. Isn't that fun? Love it. Have a beautiful Sunday, everyone. I'll see you next time. I'll be back in the live streams this week. Tomorrow night is our Zoom Christmas party for those of you in the Zoom drawing class, Zoom continuous line class. We're having our holiday party tomorrow night. So you're invited to get a little dressed up and bring a cocktail if you like, because it'll be at the evening hour. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Thanks for sharing your drawings. Thanks for sharing your lines. Thanks for telling your stories. We love to hear them. We love to see them. Keep sharing your stories. Mwah. Okay, bye, everyone.